A very warm good morning, class 8A, and welcome to your social science class. So, students, we were doing geography, lesson number 2, land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. So, students, today we are going to talk about two topics from this chapter. The first topic that we are going to talk about is natural vegetation and wildlife, and then we will move on with our discussion to the distribution of natural vegetation. So, students, before moving forward with today's discussion, I would like to introduce you all to the learning outcome of today. So, after completing today's discussion, after you finish watching the video, you will be in a position to learn about what natural vegetation is and what wildlife is. And also, you will be able to understand about the distribution of natural vegetation in not only India but also all over the world. So, let us begin. So, first, let us begin with the meaning of biosphere and ecosystem. So, remember one thing, students. Biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the three spheres of the earth: lithosphere, which is land, hydrosphere, which is water, and atmosphere, which is air. So, the thin, narrow zone of contact between these three spheres is called the biosphere. And it is in this biosphere that natural vegetation and wildlife can be existing. So, in this biosphere, we will find all kinds of living beings. And all the living beings in the biosphere, they are all interrelated and they are all interdependent on each other for their survival. So, this is known as ecosystem. So, ecosystem is a life supporting system which is found in the biosphere due to the interrelation and interdependence of one living organism to the other. And these two things, or the biosphere and the ecosystem, these are very essential for us to understand, because it is in these area, that is the biosphere, where we find the ecosystem. That means the dependence of living organisms on each other for survival. So this is biosphere and ecosystem. Now let us try to understand what are natural vegetations and how it is important. So, natural vegetation refers to the plants around us. It refers to the greenery, the trees around us. So, let us see how important natural vegetation is. So, plants or natural vegetation, they provide us with timber. They give shelter to the animals. They produce oxygen that we breathe, and they take up the carbon dioxide which we breathe out. Then, the natural vegetation or the plants and trees, they protect soil. They protect the soil, which is very essential for growing crops. Then, they also act as shelter belts for several animals to live in. They help in the storage of underground water with their strong roots. They give us various kind of fruits. They give us nuts, the latex, turpentine oil, gum, medicinal plants, and also the paper that you use to write in, which is very essential for each and every student. So there are innumerable uses of plants, and you can add on your own about some other uses of plants. So plants are very necessary for all of us, and our biosphere is full of plants, full of natural vegetation, which also comes under the living beings. So, as I already mentioned about the various uses of plants, you can understand how important plants actually are, how much we are dependent on plants for our living. Now, let's move on to understand about wildlife. So, when we talk about wildlife, it includes the animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life form which we find in the seas. So, the wildlife is also dependent on each other. For example, the birds, they eat insect, and again, they act as decomposers. Vultures, because of its ability to feed on dead livestock, it is called a scavenger. And also, it is considered as a vital cleanser of the environment because it eats up all the dead organisms in the earth. So, in this way, wildlife or any other natural being, for example, is interconnected and interdependent with each other. So, all animals, whether big or small, whether a small microorganism or a huge elephant, they are all integral to maintaining a proper balance in the ecosystem. If our ecosystem is damaged, if our ecosystem is disturbed, then we will not get a healthy environment to live in. Our entire system of living will be corrupt. It will be damaged. And if not damaged, then at least it will cause huge disturbance. Next, let us try to understand about the distribution of natural resources. So here in this slide, I will tell you about the various kinds of vegetations that are found in the world. So the growth of vegetation or the growth of plants, they primarily depend on two things. One is temperature and the other is moisture. So depending on the temperature and the moisture, the vegetations grow. And the major vegetations of the world, they are grouped into four. First is the forest, second is the grassland, then comes the scrubs, and last the tundra. So let us first talk about the forest. So forests are those areas which have huge trees all around. They have abundant water supply and also lots of wildlife can be seen there. So forest areas can be seen in those places where there is heavy rainfall. And since there is heavy rainfall, so trees grow there, evergreen trees, which remain green all over the year. And also, there is abundant water supply, due to which it makes plants become tall trees, and also it gives shelter to lots of animals and other wildlife. So this is forest, which is the first major kind of vegetation. Then comes the grassland, or we also call them the short stunt trees and shrubs. So as the moisture decreases, the size of tree and the way they are placed also reduces. That means their size and density reduces. So instead of the tall trees that we get in the forest, in the grassland we get short stunted trees and also shrubs and grasses growing. That is why it is called as grasslands. And in the grasslands we find moderate rainfall. That means rainfall is neither too heavy nor too low. So such kind of areas where there is moderate rainfall, there we find short shrubs, and we also find grasses, green grasses all over. Then the next is the scrubs. So in dry areas or in the regions where there is very low rainfall or at times no rainfall at all, there we find thorny shrubs and scrubs growing. For example, cactus growing in the desert areas, in the arid areas. And finally, just opposite to the dry areas, we have the tundra vegetation. So the tundra vegetation is found in the cold polar regions, and they comprises mostly of mosses and lichens, which are available only in the polar regions, not anywhere else. So students, these are the four important kind of vegetation that we studied about. First, we came to know about forest. So forest is formed in those places where there is heavy rainfall and there are tall trees which give shelter to wildlife. Then we talked about another kind of natural vegetation, that is grassland. And grassland is found in those areas with moderate rainfall. And one feature of the grassland is that there we find short stunted trees and shrubs. Then we talked about the dry area. So in the dry area there are thorny shrubs that grow, and these kind of vegetations like a cactus can be seen in these areas which are dry with very less rainfall and at times without rainfall as well. And lastly, we talked about the tundra vegetation, and this happens in the cold polar regions, which comprises mostly of mosses and lichens. So next, I'm going to show you about the entire 5 biomes which we have discussed just now. We talked about forest, we talked about grassland, we talked about desert and the tundra as well. And also we can include the aquatic life here, because this is also very much a part of our biosphere. And even aquatic life has got a very important role to play in maintaining a balance in our ecosystem. So this picture clearly shows you about the various kinds of vegetations that are found in the world: aquatic, forest, desert, grassland, and the tundra region. So take a very good look at the picture. So let's move on to the next slide. So in the next slide, I'm going to give you the classifications of forest. So in the last slide, we talked about the various forms of natural vegetation. And now let us talk about the various classifications of forest. So forest can be broadly divided into evergreen forest and deciduous forest. So this classification is done depending on when the trees shed their leaves. So the most important difference between evergreen forest and deciduous forest is that in an evergreen forest, the trees do not shed their leaves at all. In any season of the year, the evergreen forest will always remain thick and evergreen. It will never fall or it will never turn yellowish or dry. This is the speciality about evergreen forest. And remember, one more important feature of the evergreen forest is that it is found mostly in those areas where there is heavy rainfall. Then comes the deciduous forest. So, deciduous forest, there the trees shed their leaves at least once in a year. And this is done to conserve the loss of moisture through transpiration. So, this is the main difference between a deciduous and an evergreen forest. And both these kinds of forests are found all over the world in huge areas. So, forest can be further classified based on their location as tropical or temperate. So those areas which are in the tropical region, those forests which are in the tropical region, they are known as the tropical forest. And those areas or those forests which are situated in the temperate zone, they are known as the temperate forest. And these forests, that is tropical and temperate, they are classified based on their location in different latitudes. So students, these are the various classifications of forest. So today there are many people in the world. There is overpopulation of the world than it was about 2 centuries back. So to feed the growing members, large areas of forest have been cleared, either to grow crops or to build industries or to build houses. Whatever be the reason, we human beings, for our own selfish motives, we are destroying our forest. And forest cover, because of this, is being rapidly vanishing all over the world. The ecosystem is getting greatly damaged, and there is very less time. I won't be wrong if I say that there are very less years remaining for us to be alive, because the ecosystem has been hugely disturbed, and all thanks to the human beings ourselves, because we are the ones who are growing more and more, and we are depleting the forest covers because of our shellfish needs. So therefore, remember that there is a very urgent need to conserve this valuable resource, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. So students, that's all for today. In the next class, we will be talking about how to conserve the natural vegetation and wildlife. But before I end the class, I would like to show you your homework. So this 4 questions are your homework for today. First of all, you need to define what is biosphere and ecosystem. Then you need to bring out the importance of natural vegetation and wildlife. Then you need to write a note on the distribution of natural vegetation, where you need to include all the biomes, where starting from the forest to the grassland to the tundra region, everything you have to write down. And if you want, you can also include aquatic life there. And then lastly, you have to differentiate between evergreen and deciduous forest, which we discussed just 2 slides back. So this is the homework for today, and your last date of submitting your homework is 28th of August, that is Friday. After Friday, no homework shall be accepted. And submission is to be done only in Google Classroom. As I already told you, your homework, if you submit in my personal WhatsApp number, will not be accepted and checked. So kindly make sure that you submit it only in Google Classroom. So thank you so much, students. Kindly go through the entire video well. Also, I'm sharing the PPT with you. So go through the PPT well, and also don't forget to read the lines through your textbook. And only after reading everything properly, you sit down for writing these answers. Thank you and have a very good day. We shall meet again on Saturday during our live class. Thank you.